Now listen. So far, we have used two operating systems for our practical work. One is what? Windows. Windows is the common operating system we use. And the other one is what? What is the name of the other operating system we have installed and used? Anybody? Linux. Linux. The other operating system we use was Linux. And the specific version is named Ubuntu. Ubuntu is the name of the version we use. Why? I don't know why all of you remain silent when I put this question. You use Linux on a daily basis, whereas you don't know what operating system you are using. Okay, these two are meant for performing the same work, whereas they are different. Why they are different? Windows, if you wish to install Windows and run it with a license, you may have to spend around 11,000 rupees for purchasing Windows alone. Okay. Otherwise, if the operating system was preloaded with the laptop, there is no problem. Computer or laptop may have a preloaded operating system. If it is preloaded with Windows 11, it's okay. Whereas if you wish to purchase, you may have to spend around 11,000 rupees for Windows alone. Okay. Then MS Office, you may have to spend another 15,000, 10,000 to 15,000 rupees for licensed version of MS Office. Then 25,000 just for the package. What package? The Windows and MS Office. Apart from the cost of your laptop, if you wish to run legal version of Windows and MS Office, you may have to spend a lot of money for the software alone. This is what? Not possible for many individual users. This may not be possible for many individual users. Therefore, they have started a movement called Free Software Foundation. Free Software Foundation, in which all the software packages will be available free of cost. You may take whatever software package you wish to get, and you will be offered the source code for the operating system. Source code means the code which we write for making the computer work. The software will be available along with the source code, so that you can make modifications if you desire to change the source code and run the program with fine-tuned setting. Okay. This Free Software Foundation was created by a person named Richard M. Stallman, RMS. The person on the left is Richard M. Stallman. He was the person who initiated the project called Free Software Foundation. Free Software Foundation. Okay. This Free Software Foundation had a license called GNU General Public License. GNU GPL. GNU stands for GNU not Unix. GNU stands for GNU not Unix. G stands for GNU again. It is called a recursive acronym. G for GNU, then N for not, U for Unix. GNU stands for GNU not Unix. The aim of the project, aim of GNU project was to create an operating system similar to Unix. Why similar to Unix? You may install Unix, whereas Windows, I said Windows cost you around 11,000 rupees. Unix may cost you around 80,000 to 1 lakh rupees. 80,000 to 1 lakh rupees. Unix. Very costly. People like us cannot afford to purchase such costly software package for our personal usage. It's not possible. Many institutions may purchase. Whereas people like us, individuals, cannot purchase such costly software packages. Therefore, this person called Richard Stallman argued that you are creating a software only once, whereas you are selling the software package to millions of people at an increased price. Therefore, it is not fair. He said all the software packages should be made available with source code and without any charges. This was the motive of Richard M. Stallman. Then, under this project, the person on the right is called Linus Torvalds. Linus Torvalds. He was a student at University of Helsinki. He was a student and he created a project. We created a book as our project. Similar to that, he created an operating system as his graduation dissertation project. For his graduation, he created a project and he named it Linux. It was a bit similar to Unix. Therefore, he named it, his name is Linus Torvalds. Therefore, he has named the project as Linux. Unix and Linux combined together, he named it Linux. Okay, and released it under the GNU General Public License. GNU General Public License. This Linux later became very popular, and many companies have adopted the use of Linux because there are two major advantages. One is there is no virus infestation with Linux. Okay. The other one is it's available free of cost. The third one is the system will not crash. The system will not crash as often as Windows does. It is a very stable operating system because it follows the ethos of Unix kernel. Unix was the original gold standard operating system. Linux mimics Unix. Therefore, this operating system became very popular. Even now, many companies at enterprise level use Linux operating system and Unix. Whereas individuals like us may not be familiar with Linux, With, with passage of time, we people will also come to use Linux as an alternative to other proprietary operating systems. Now, Linux operating system. Okay. What are the advantages of Linux operating system? Linux has got anything you wish to, what is it? You compare two operating systems. One is Windows. Whatever you have on Windows, we have Notepad, we have WordPad, we have MS Office. Then these are the major packages available in what? Windows and MS Paint. These are the major packages we use in our daily use. Any non-professional in the sense, any persons who are not involved in video editing or photo editing may use all these packages. If you use photo editing, you may have to go in for Photoshop. Photoshop, single license for Photoshop will cost you around 50,000. Adobe is the company selling Photoshop. They will include all other sub packages and sell you Photoshop alone for 50,000 rupees. Okay. Then there are some video editing software packages, video editing for some uh, and animation packages called Maya and other things. Then video editing they have Lightroom. Sorry, there is the package from Adobe for video editing. All those packages cost you in terms of lakhs. Okay, therefore, if you wish to set up a computer with Windows, with MS Office, with all professional photo and video editing packages, your software packages will cost at least 10 times around the rate you pay for your hardware, your computer or laptop. Therefore, Linux. What is the advantage of using Linux? Even under Linux, we have many software packages. Instead of MS Office, we have LibreOffice, Libre, Liberation. LibreOffice is the office package available under Linux. LibreOffice is free. You can write documents using LibreOffice, whereas a few things may not be available under LibreOffice. A few things may be lacking. MS Excel, equivalent of MS Excel is called Calc in LibreOffice, and MS Paint, equivalent of MS Paint is called Draw under LibreOffice. Okay, everything has got a parallel. Instead of Photoshop, we may use GIMP, Image Manipulation Program. We have already used it under Windows. The Windows version was created much later. GIMP was introduced on Linux for Linux. Then since it became popular, we have released it on Windows and Mac OS. It's a free software. You need not pay anything. Whereas you can do all the work you can accomplish with licensed software packages for which you have to pay hefty amount of money. Then there are some video editing tools like OpenShot, which are free and available for Linux and Windows. And animation tools like Blender. There is a cute animation tool called Blender. Any of you would have watched Kung Fu Panda. How many follow the Kung Fu Panda series? At least you would have come across it only once. If you watch kids movies in Linux in YouTube, Kung Fu Panda. The original Kung Fu Panda was created using Blender. Blender, the software called Blender. It is an animation software. It can create beautiful 3D animation, and it does not cost you anything. You may start working without paying anything. Okay. These are the advantages available under Linux. Whereas there is a difference. When you have a paid software package, if you are in trouble, if you face any trouble, you can call somebody for it. Whereas if you use some unpaid software package, you may not be getting such level of stuff. That is the only difference between paid packages and free packages. You have free packages, you are free. You will not be getting any help. You will not be getting any help from anybody. If you don't know anything, you have to search Google or go to YouTube, learn the new things, then you start working on your own. Whereas if you are using a paid package, you will be given help by professionals. Software professionals will be ready to help you. Okay. Then I wish to tell you the JupyterSoftware.in, which we use every day for attending tests. It's hosted on a Linux server. It is hosted on a Linux server. The server we use for hosting our testing website is run by Linux software, and it is hosted under GoDaddy. A company called GoDaddy is hosting our server. Okay. Then okay, this is only for telling you. Whereas if you have already used Linux, you know whatever is available in Linux. To a fair extent, you know whatever is available under Linux. These are the settings. Settings you have already used settings under practical settings. You can customize the settings is similar to what? Similar to control panel in Windows. Control panel or Windows I, which we press Windows I for opening settings in Windows. Okay. Then this is LibreOffice Writer, equivalent of Winword, and this one is LibreOffice Calc, which is equivalent of Excel, MS Excel. It can do anything Excel does, and there are some other software packages called Impress for creating presentation and Base for creating databases. Base for creating databases. Okay, then this is GIMP. You have already used GIMP during the inception period when we came into the class. We have been using GIMP for editing several photos, whereas we will be going back to GIMP during our course. Now we move on to this is a file manager. Then okay, with this we will go. What is the free software? Free software is available with source code without any financial liability. We did not pay any money. Okay. Who was the founder of Free Software Foundation? Do you remember the name? Richard Stallman. Richard Stallman was the founder of Free Software Foundation. Who created Linux? Linus Torvalds. Linus Torvalds. Linus Torvalds. Then, what is the version of Linux we use in our lab? Ubuntu. Ubuntu is the version of Linux we use in our lab. There are other versions available called Red Hat, Fedora, then Mint Linux, then several other versions. Whereas Ubuntu is the most mature desktop operating system. It does everything on par with which operating system? On par with, maybe we compare it to Mac. It's similar to Mac. It does everything so well that it can be compared to Mac. Whatever resources are available under Ubuntu are very much. Then Debian is one more operating system distributed with the Linux one more Linux distributed. Okay. Then we will not go into shell commands right now. It will be taken up in the next class. Then GNU. Can you tell me the full form for GNU? GNU, not unit. Then GPL, GNU General Public Library. GPL for General Public Library. We close the class. We go back to practical. One more practical.